This is T.Y. Jackson.
United States Women's Champion Chelsea Green.
How you doing, people?
And I love pro wrestling.
I love pro wrestling.
Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. Good evening. Welcome to the Brunch Clinic. I am Lawrence Kurtze. We are live. Another big week in wrestling, as yesterday was AEW Wrestle Dream.
Hi, I'm Maxine Dupree.
And I'm Otis.
Hi, I'm the Sweetest Pea, Christara.
Mars, the specialist.
And I love wrestling.
And I love pro wrestling.
And we
love wrestling.
Bottoms up, brains on. Welcome to Quizplex here on Love Wrestling, your pro wrestling trivia charity show. My name is Zach Ralph. I will be your host.
This is God's gift to wrestling, Michael Richard Blaze.
Yeah, we are the Usos.
This is Rachel Ellering.
And we love wrestling.
And I love pro wrestling.
And I love pro wrestling.
Hello, Love Wrestling. It is Thursday night. It is 8 p.m. And you all know what that means.
Well, you better know by now. It's episode 235 of this thing.
I guarantee you there's like an 85% chance that's not an accurate number.
Hi, this is Shaz McKenzie.
This is Big Bad Boris.
This is the Rhinestone Cowboy, Stephen Crow.
And I love pro wrestling.
And I love pro wrestling.
And I love wrestling.
If you're here, thanks for being here. It's for Exposure, Love Wrestling's Independent Weekend podcast, where we break down all the best happenings of the world of the independent wrestling side.
I'm Penta, I'm wrestling, and what?
I'm the alternative Anthony Green.
And I love pro wrestling.
And I love wrestling.
And I love wrestling. I love wrestling. And you know what? Ben Casero.
That's called scanning, kids. It is 8:00 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. It is time for a excitingly fun, I hope, episode of Saturday Night Love. My name is Big Bad Boy.
I'm Big Ben Ortmans.
Hi, this is Smiley Patty Ray.
I'm Yes Guy.
And I love wrestling.
And I love wrestling.
And I love pro wrestling.
Of course.
Hello, Love Wrestling. It's Thursday night. It's 8 p.m. And you know what that means. It's another new episode of Between Two Beards.
Can we start off with the biggest news of the week? The Rats lost!
If you've got the budget, I've got the time.
There he is.
Hey, boss!
There's the boss.
Hey! The man with the finest beard on this screen. Canadian boys, shut the hell up. Let me talk.
You see, the Rads are resourceful. When I got beef with somebody, I can find a way to talk to them.
Hello, Love Wrestling. It is Thursday night. It is 8 p.m. And it is time.
And you know what that means? I'm going to test the days in internet connection.
You are. We've been told in the chat that the Motor City Machine Guns just debuted on Collision. That just happened at the top of the show.
Wow.
So that's a big deal. They were in Detroit again. So we got wrestling news right off the jump here.
No offense, but I wonder why not debut them on your flagship program.
It's true. But it is time for another new episode of Between Two Beards, and we're not going to beat around the bush too much. We have a big one tonight. Pluggo, as you can see, is not on his home turf usual. He is in Minnesota. He will be covering SummerSlam this weekend for us here at Love Wrestling. the SummerSlam, as the great Bret Hart would say.
Yes.
So he is in a Days Inn hotel, getting ready to do that. I am back home from a weekend up in Montreal. I got to cover AEW Redemption last weekend, which was a lot of fun. But we got a couple pals joining us here that we're not going to waste any time with. Local Bostonian friends of mine. We met
just
them.
Yours? They're just yours, friends?
No, no, but you're not from Boston. I meant, because I'm, local, That's what I was coming from. You don't live here.
So,
That's what I was trying to get at. Yeah.
Okay.
We had the picture was taken that shook the foundation of the wrestler media frenzy at Bound for Glory last year, where the facial hair met. And they are here. They're joining us. We have both John and Jimmy from the Q here from the Stache
Staches
Club
and the Beards
joining
together
us tonight.
again.
How we doing? How we doing?
This is the Mount Rushmore of facial hair pro wrestling content creation right here.
This is the facial hair summit of
That's right.
the creator space.
That's right.
But welcome in. We're excited to have you both here. Jimmy, we know we've had you on before, but we're excited to have John here as well for a little bit with both of you joining us. So thanks for making the time, guys.
What up, fellas? Yeah, thanks for having me. My AirPods did kick out, so I'm just straight speakerphone. So I apologize to everyone for the bad audio quality or any echoes or whatever. I had a little emergency that took me away from my setup, just so the audience knows. But I'm here. I'm here for at least maybe 20 minutes to talk some SummerSlam and AEW and chat up with the fellas, huh? Appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Real excited. A couple weeks ago, we were all in the Boston area for the back-to-back Dynamite and Collision shows that we got 2 great shows there. And then we had Redemption this past Sunday. A solid show. I would say, again, a lot of discourse, a lot of typical, whatever about it. I thought it was a very solid to really good show. I was there. I got to cover it. So my perspective was obviously a little bit different than everybody's or most people's. But I thought it was another good, solid show. I saw a lot of discourse on the interwebs complaining about it. And I was like, I don't really know why there was so much complaining about it. But what'd you think of Redemption, Jimmy?
Redemption was very solid. Give this one to reporter Johnny Journalism. He's friends with Tony Khan. We only got him for so long. So Johnny Moonsault, what did you think of AEW Redemption?
Yeah, I was talking up with the exec set, the AE-dub as we call it. No, before anyone, takes that as truth. No, I thought Redemption was a good show. Again, we're all talking about the same thing. We saw the same reception reactions online. That show sucked. That show stinks. And I think, do I think it was their strongest? No. Do I think it was probably at the bottom section of their pay-per-views over the, I don't know how many they've had over the past 6 or 7 years, but I think that's a big testament to how good their pay-per-view qualities usually are, the expectations they have set for everyone. And yeah, did they not deliver a 9 out of 10 show and it was a 6 out of 10 show? God forbid. I thought it was a lot of fun, a lot of really good takeaways. And then we bounced back with a Dynamite that people are claiming is the best Dynamite of all time. So I don't know. We're just complaining to complain, but that's Dallas.
Yeah,
it was the best Dynamite because it was on my birthday. That's why it was the best.
Oh,
there you go. There we go.
Happy
Look at that.
birthday. Happy belated birthday to you.
We talked about it last week, JPJ. By the way, I was right on that Maya World take.
You were.
I told you.
You were. That worked out for you.
I was very bullish on her winning that thing, and I'm never right on a lot of those. But we talked about it last week.
Were you right on Willow Nightingale? Because I was.
Even though Phil kind of talked me into Tekla, but I was pretty heavy. I was pretty heavy on the Willow and Mercedes being the headliners at All In there. But when you move to this, they went from 4 to 6 pay-per-views a year to now they're about 12. Not every one of them is going to hit, right? And this one they kind of threw together. It's a new one, and if all the reports and things were true, right? It was meant to be something else, and then injuries and things they had to swerve, and it ended up being a fine show. I think, like John said, this is the worst one they had. Like, they usually produce banger after banger, so it's okay if one doesn't quite live up to the standards, but there were still a lot of good things to take away from it. I think we love complaining.
Yeah. It seems to be that way. And then, like you said,
hopefully my connection is still good. If not, I will switch to something else.
No, you're good. You're all right. You're chilling. And then, like John said, last night they give us this Dynamite.
Okay. All right, this is weird for me.
Wow, what's going on? Are you delayed or something? I think Pluggo's delayed. But
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you. You.
You sound good. You sound good, bro. Dynamite last night was excellent, and now we're going towards All In, and we had, there was a lot of talking on that show of Dynamite last night, which is not always the case, but I thought the talking segments really were strong. I thought the sit down between Cope and Christian and the Bucks was really strong. The Willow segment, like the first half celebration, was wonderful. And then it turned into this, like, the crowd was just so hot for the Mercedes standoff with them. There was just like liquid heat for Mercedes. And then you had this end sequence with Will and Kenny that was also, the crowd was just crazy for. It was so good back and forth. It was just like a really, really strong episode of Dynamite, and the next 30 days leading to All In seem like they're going to be an exciting month heading into there, boys. Whoever wants to take it away.
Detroit's a hot city, man. And I think
unbelievable.
It made a huge difference, and I think that was one thing that took away from Redemption was the crowd a little bit. I know Montreal is a good wrestling city and stuff, but someone tells me that was a really somewhat of a casual and or like, for a lack of a better term, perhaps like a WWE crowd, because the loudest pops went to good old Christian Cage and Copeland, or as I call him still, Edge, and Jericho. And I think it was night and day, the difference. Like, Detroit City brought it for that Dynamite. And I was super impressed with my biggest takeaway from the very long Omega Ospreay thing, which I thought both men delivered greatly on their promo abilities. I just can't help but just and maybe I'm supposed to feel this way, but I want Kenny Omega to take Will Ospreay's head off at All In. But I'm not entirely sure that's like the goal, but like that's how I feel, and I'm fine with it. I'm enjoying it, but I'm very surprised about how much I want Kenny Omega to win based off of Ospreay's actions or lack thereof.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that take at all, John. Are you feeling the same as Jimmy a little bit on that front? Like, where's your head at? Because I wouldn't consider what Kenny did as a full heel turn. I don't think it was at all. And I actually thought his reasoning in that promo last night was very understandable, completely.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, always got to bring up WWE, huh? Gee. I'm just teasing.
You Mark. As I sit here credentialed for SummerSlam.
But yeah, I like JP said, I am very excited for the bill. We have 30 days till All In. And yeah, when the one-winged angel hit initially at Redemption, as just, a wrestling fan, right? One friend does one to the other. Instantly my brain goes, that's a heel turn. And then I think I even put out a short form video or whatever, and I got some comments being like, well, wait a minute. I don't, I was kind of calling Kenny a heel, and I was like, they were like, wait a minute, I don't think so. He's very justified. And I had some healthy conversations about well, is he a heel? Is he a justified heel? Was he just doing the right things? He saw his friend about to murder him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it is nice that on paper, still Will is the more babyface, and then Kenny would be more of the villainous guy if you really need to make it black and white. But I like that we're getting the not even tweener Kenny, but just they have problems with each other. Neither of them are perfect. And I saw a lot of discourse about maybe Will being the weaker one in the promo battle. I don't know if you guys, have any obvious takes about ooh, Will was this or Will was that, but a lot of people thought that the young man couldn't keep up with old Kenny.
I mean, I would agree with those people. I thought Kenny won the battle that we saw last night at the very least. I thought Kenny, to me, I thought they both did very well in the promo, but I did think that Kenny Kenny's points, the things he was talking about, I think to me were stronger cases of evidence of what he did last night, at least. And I'm with Jimmy too, like going into it. I know that's not the plan. I know the plan is we're crowning the golden boy in his home country at All In. I get it. I bet
John Moxley has something to say about that.
That is
after
true.
Last night.
That
after last night, I was like, listen, I know it's a perfect moment to crown Ospreay at All In, but wouldn't that be just some nuclear heat if Ospreay screwed him out of that title at All In?
If Moxley did.
Yeah, if Moxley did. Because you don't leave the Death Riders that easy. That's just not a thing.
It's true. Yeah, I don't think
that's not how that works.
Yeah, I think Moxley definitely will have a lot to say, whether it's on the way or it happens at the show or whatever. But yeah, it's very intriguing. Very intriguing. I did not see that coming at all. I did not see Kenny doing what he did at the end of Redemption. And then when it first happened, kind of like you said, John, I was like, oh, well, they're not going to make Will the bad guy going into Wembley. That doesn't make sense. So Kenny's going to be the bad guy, but I think it's somewhere in the middle. All right.
I got to say, this podcast is super confusing to me because John is my shoot name. And I'm like, why does he keep calling me John?
That's fair.
Kayfabe's broken, man. Why did you say that? How dare you?
Every time I say John, Pluggo's looking up like, what is he?
Yeah, I'm like, huh? Wells Mania broke it the other night, like, because he's like, hey, what's up with that? Yeah, so he was calling. It's all right.
Yeah,
I ain't hiding nothing.
Yeah.
I know. We got 3 Bostonians in here, and us Bostonians are supposed to stick together. But I also can't wait for Willow to beat Mercedes' ass at All In too. Let me just say that.
Ooh, sheesh.
Wow.
Put my prediction on the line right there.
We usually stick together, Jimmy.
You don't think so?
I see it. That world title win was huge.
So that was the last thing I wanted to talk about because I know we only have John for a little bit, so I do want to get some SummerSlam talk in before he has to bounce. But the last thing I did want to talk about was Willow and Mercedes. Obviously, Willow gets the big win, Redemption. She beats Tekla. I love Willow, as I think we all love Willow. And then they have this celebration last night, and the first half of it is super emotional, super wholesome. She's talking about, her struggles and all this stuff. It really puts her mom over. It was just like this the flowers she got, she deserved every second of them. And it was just this great moment. And then Mercedes comes out, and the segment completely flips to this just heat with them going back and forth. The crowd's telling Mercedes to shut the fuck up. And she's just like grabbing Willow by the mouth and the face, and they're getting in each other's face, and they're just talking shit. And it was just like, holy crap. It was like the second it was in there, it was like, this is like super hot. Like, this is a super hot segment. This match feels like a big fucking deal. Like a big deal.
I love Willow's like edge that she's got to her lately, right? Like, she's not all happy-go-lucky. She's got a little killer in her now. And she was always happy-go-lucky and still was a killer, but now she's showing it to some of her opponents, like, you're not just going to walk all over me. And I'm loving that because she's going to need that against Mercedes, especially in the promo battles leading up to it. So it was real cool to see on Wednesday. I like that segment a lot.
It was. I very much enjoyed it. Jimmy going out, well, I wouldn't say going out on a limb, but Jimmy just thinking Willow's just going to handle business. Wow. John, how'd you feel about the Mercedes Willow segment on Dynamite and just where we're heading for All In with them?
I loved it. I wouldn't even disagree if someone were to say that it was stronger than the fellas at the main event.
I thought it,
even just from a storytelling perspective, just a passion perspective, clear, like, babyface, I love this person and this dastardly heel, whatever. I think it's strong. I think it's, the AEW women's division has been kind of criticized over the past year, rightfully so, for the lack of booking by Tony Khan and whatever. And this feels like I guess for lack of a better term, maybe not lack of a better term, restart and rejuvenation to the women's division, and I think Willow winning shocked me, but afterward I was like, well, wait a minute. Like, of course I'd love Tekla, and Tekla versus Mercedes would be sick, but like, Willow's the most over babyface in the world, Mercedes the heel. Willow finally getting the title. Very like, her, Chris Statlander, shout out Beyond Wrestling, dreams do come true, sort of
Hell
like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? So I don't know who I want to win or who I think's gonna win, but I get Jimmy and other people where it's like this moment, Willow winning it feels better, especially if you're a real, AEW fan since day one. Willow winning it feels like a bigger deal than the possibility of Mercedes winning it at Wembley.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I don't disagree. Yeah, Willow she's the purest babyface in that whole company, regardless of gender or whatever. Like, she is the purest babyface. And this was originally supposed to be the match, injuries and absences aside. I guess this, from what you're hearing, this was the match that we were supposed to get to, but Mercedes was supposed to be the champion. But with everything that went down, they figured out a way to get to this match, a little bit different with Willow getting her first title win on the way there, as opposed to her being the challenger. But, if it wasn't Wembley, I could make a strong argument that this match should main event the whole show, to be honest with you. If it wasn't Wembley with Will, I really feel that way.
Jimmy and I were having this conversation the other day of like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we said this, is AEW has yet to have a women's main event. That's true, right?
Correct.
Correct. It feels like I think you're spot on. Like, Willow and Mercedes is a main event for any AEW pay-per-view, and it really is just the fact that like the plan's been laid out for what feels like a year now of Ospreay in the main event of All In. But you're right. Like, I think I'm hoping maybe after All In, whether who walks out as the champion, I think regardless, that belt will be built up big enough that you can easily have that as the main event, whether it's Willow or Mercedes holding it, whatever. That's something I really want to see post All In.
Yeah, maybe we'll get a pay-per-view in Boston. We could do that. But I wouldn't look at obviously we don't know how that match is going to go, but I wouldn't hate to run it back as a rematch at All Out in Chicago and have it be the main event. I would be totally okay with that.
You can't get a pay-per-view in Boston, Jimmy. You guys said Bound for Glory.
Don't
City of Champions. We can do multiple things, pal.
He said,
Yeah. Don't get me started with that pay-per-view. But all right. So obviously, John, before you got to get out of here, let's transition over to SummerSlam for a few minutes. We'll dive into the night-by-night, match-by-match stuff, a little bit later on in the show. But initial feelings, John, on the build to this show. If you have a match or two, like, what are you looking forward to most on the show? How have you been feeling about our build to SummerSlam?
I mean, say what you will about the current product. I think I'm kind of in the same camp as a lot of people. I don't want to say everybody, but a lot of people have like, yeah, WWE isn't putting on my favorite product right now, and things feel kind of like a lull. But regardless, and I think this is where maybe, I don't want to speak for him, but like, Jimmy and I are doing a stream this weekend. It's like, at the end of the day, we're at SummerSlam, brother. Like, SummerSlam's here. We have big main events. World titles are online. Regardless, I'm excited. Obviously, I think Brock Oba is stealing the hype from everyone, rightfully so. But then, the world title matches, I think both are big matches. I think Io versus Liv is really going to deliver a lot more than their previous match did. There's a lot to look forward to. I don't know. What do you guys? Again, I would be. Is anyone more hyped for something else other than Brock versus Oba? That feels like the big match to put Oba over.
I feel like as far as like biggest matches
feels
go,
like the best built one.
Yeah, for sure. I would say of the big matches.
But I mean,
that one. Go ahead.
Yeah. I can't tell if I'm delayed or not. I'm having some. I'm trying to figure this out. But I mean, Rollins and Roman are going to kill it, right? Like, maybe, it's not been your favorite build of the card, but it's been solid, and I think they're going to kill it. Like, Punk and Cody's probably going to kill it too. We're going to be sitting there at the end of the night going, hell yeah, that was awesome. Like, there's a lot of good stuff on this card. I mean, Trick Williams and Baron Corbin. I'm excited to see Baron Corbin back. We're excited, JPJ.
Can I tell you? Yeah, Baron Corbin is our boy. He is our boy. I'm excited.
Sell me on Baron Corbin. Sell me this pen. Sell me, because me and John are not jumping out of our seats for Baron Corbin. Sell me this pen.
We're just fans. He touched our beards once, and we've been fans. Yeah,
he want we had to
touch my mustache. I'd be all in. So
yeah, so we got to interview him at a junket with the first time that Pluggo and I were together because he's from Indiana. So like the first time we actually met, we did a SummerSlam in Cleveland, and he just started rubbing our beards right in the middle of the interview. And then we had to go do something else, and we were going to leave, and he looked at us and he was like, "Oh, you guys got to go do something?" We were like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, I wanted to see if you wanted to head to the bar." And I looked at Pluggo in that moment, and I was like, "If we did not have a credentialed thing to do, I would say, let's blow
they
this
didn't
fucking
just
joint.
give
We're
it
going
to
to have
us,
beers
too.
with Baron Corbin. How the fuck are we not going to have beers with Baron
We
Corbin?"
literally were talking. We were talking to the representatives, and they were like, "What did you get? What else did you get approved for?" And we said this, this, and this, and they gave us this next event. We're like, we can't not show up after that.
Yes,
So.
yeah. So,
But I mean, I'm excited to see Liv Morgan defend the championship. I think that'll be good.
Yeah, all right. So, all right. But honestly, as far as Baron Corbin goes, I think he is one of the all-time products of terrible booking, as opposed to like the talent of the actual person. I think he has one of the coolest movesets we've seen in a long, long time. His movesets are insane. Like, I just love it. He has one of the most protected finishers we've seen in 20 years. In the company, his size, his speed. I just think if he would have gotten better booking and was positioned in a Triple H era from the start, even though Triple H, not the strongest currently, but you know what I mean? Like if Triple H had control of his booking career the whole way, I think a lot of people would feel differently about Baron Corbin. Not saying he'd be a Hall of Famer or world
Jimmy,
champion. But I just think he's a little underrated. Always has a banger theme as well. Just a little underrated. But you know what match I'm excited for? Oh, yes, go ahead.
I was sorry. I was just going to say, I don't mean to interrupt. I do got to dip in a second. But
okay.
I am really curious. If I could just get from everyone, if you don't have an answer, that's fine. I'm curious if anyone has like a take, like I think this person's going to win. Something that's kind of like surprising or shocking that I can get from you. Not to like take this wheel and steer.
No.
I am really curious. Mine, real quick, is I think Seth's going to beat Roman.
Oh.
Ooh. Keep it going.
Well, my hot take, and I don't know how much of a hot take it is if it's been the normal of conversation. I actually think they're going to pull the trigger and Cody's going to turn heel to end night one.
Oh, I love it. Oh my! Me and Jimmy talk about heel Cody Rhodes like 18 times a year. It's like it could happen now. It could happen now.
I think they're cementing their next great baby, like really cementing in Oba when he beats Brock. Like he's the next really, really big
Chelsea
over
Green.
babyface.
Chelsea Green wins the ladder match.
Love it. I love that one too.
Fuck yeah, big fan.
Okay,
Chelsea Green, because it's interim. They're gonna go out on a limb. They're gonna give it to Chelsea Green. Have some fun with it.
All right, Jimmy, what's yours?
Well, after I've been sold this mighty pen, the pen's mightier than the sword. We got whoop that Trick Williams gets whooped by Baron Corbin. We get a new U.S. champion rocking that furry title.
Wow, I like it.
Go ahead, Jimmy. Change your pick for the SCW championship.
No. I'm playing both sides there.
Exactly. So now he has actual footage on the
interwebs. Bold pick from the VIP crib.
That was a good question.
Fellas, with that said, I do have to dip out. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. Just
it's okay.
Have one beer and leave, as they say. But
no, it's all right. Let's plan to do this again.
Having me. I would love to. Yeah, I would love to. I'd love to make it up and have a little more. My setup and actual microphone and stuff. But with that said, great chatting with you guys. I'm looking forward to doing this again. Looking forward to SummerSlam, and hope you guys have a good rest of this show.
All right, appreciate you being here, man. We'll definitely set it up that we can get you on here.
Appreciate you.
And have a great show. But thanks for joining us for a little bit, man. Appreciate you.
Of course, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.
All right, later, man. That is John Moonsalt, one half of the Stache Club.
Way to go, Jimmy. You picked Baron Corbin and he dips.
Yeah, he lips.
I'm sorry, John has a sick horse to take care of.
Yeah. Can I make another statement?
Do you know the Terry Funk reference?
The sick horse? Yes. I've heard that. But yeah. we are going to break down SummerSlam night by night. We have the nights separated and stuff like that. Can I just, I'll throw out another, like, not hot take, and it's not so much an anti the other person thing, but if Dominic Mysterio loses to Danhausen, I think that's it for him. I think we're done with Dom. I think that will be
he might lose to Danhausen.
I think he might too. I think that would be
no. I think Dom might win.
He should win. He should win.
It's a human money's on a pole match, JP.
I get it.
This is Brock in the Hell in a Cell. This is Undertaker in a casket match.
Listen, I understand. I just, I don't know, man. I don't know. Dom was like hottest guy in the company a year and a half ago. Yeah, I don't know. All right.
I will say it's more
and they
so...
they just announced that that's going to be in Vegas now, so they hyped that up. So he's the face of that. So he could win it here because it's not going to. Nobody has to take a pin, right? You just grab the monies off the pole and you win the match. And to be fair, it was Dominic Mysterio's money to begin with, anyway.
Yeah, that is true. Jimmy, what were you going to say?
Technically, Danhausen stole it.
I was just going to say, I just think it's hard to say a loss of Danhausen means the end of Dominic Mysterio. I do understand your energy though. It does kind of like, damn, like what was he doing at this point last year? You know, bigger, better things than taking the 3-second tan of Danhausen. But I like your energy though. I understand where you're coming from.
That's fair. All right, let's break it down. Night 1, Saturday, August 1st. We know the main event. But let's start with what I think might actually start the show. We've talked about it a few times already. Hell in a Cell, Obafemi, Brock Lesnar. Some people speculating this could be it for Brock. Who knows? But it's in. Oh, we lost Pluggo. It's a 2-man weave now. It's you and me, Jimmy.
Actually, I have a horse to tend to. Actually.
Oh no. Oh, I'm gonna be soloing. Yeah, that Days in internet cropping out on Plug. I'm sure he'll pop back in. But Obafemi, Brock Lesnar, Hell in a Cell. Brock's hometown, or where, not so much where he lives anymore, but Minnesota, home state. Pluggo said it earlier. I think of the big matches, this is probably the best built match, even though that whole Raw on Monday was just not good. I didn't really care that much for I thought of all the segments, the opening one with the Hell in a Cell and Oba and Brock was probably the best one of the bunch, but it was kind of just, there was microphone issues, not anybody's fault, but microphone issues. Then they lock Oba in there. He beats up some security guards, signs does the weigh in.
I had so much anxiety just because, like, what if one of them didn't make weight?
That's what I was saying. I didn't know what the weight limit was, but, Oba shows up at 302, and then Brock's like, I weighed myself. It's 303. I'm 303. I weighed myself.
I appreciate Paul Heyman burying the whole weigh-in thing by just doing that. And people were kind of giving it ilk because Triple H got involved. I think Triple H's presence does elevate stuff like that, and they had to do a weigh-in because they were already doing a face-to-face for the other two guys who don't wrestle on the wrestling shows usually. So they had to switch it up. I just don't like the common sense of like a weigh-in, just because.
Well, like what are we doing?
Make weight, who cares?
Yeah. That's my thing. Like, pro wrestling has had 500-pound guys wrestling dudes that weigh $130 in matches. Like, there is, what the hell are we talking about?
It's Triple H cosplaying Dana White in the UFC.
Yeah, exactly. But I assume you and I are in agreement that this is Oba, or it should be Oba all day here, winning this match.
Oh, 1,000%. I mean, this guy is he sacrificed the King of the Ring for this very reason to avenge himself against this guy that needs to be put away. And what better way to be put down than the Broctagon, the guy who's never lost in Hell in a Cell. This is going to be Obafemi all the way. Hopefully, we'll get the beautiful silhouette of him on top of the Hell in a Cell, doing his famous kind of Michael Jordan-esque logo kind of thing he's going for with this whole aura forming thing, and I'm looking forward to it. This has been the rivalry of the year in the WWE, and Oba should be a made guy after this.
Yep, I agree. We have ourselves a couple 6-person tag matches. Let's start on the men's side. We have LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, who I friggin' love. Solo Sikoa, what he's doing right now. All of a sudden, I've never been anti-Solo. I know a lot of people gave him shit, especially during the Bloodline and right after, and I get it. But I was never really anti-Solo. We all kind of knew he was funny, and he could be funny and stuff like that. But I did not think that he would organically get over as a babyface as well as he kind of has these last, 3 weeks or so. I thought that this was going to have no chance of really working with him as a babyface, but this is getting over, dude. Like, this is working. This is working.
It's those, $1,000 suits he's wearing. It's this charisma. That's the it factor. He's definitely Rakishi's son. He just has that something about him that you want to root for him. And I think a little bit of the, kind of disliking of him originally came from like the fact that, since he joined the main roster, he's been kind of just given everything. Like the guy debuted at WrestleMania, attacking Cody Rhodes, and he's a part of the bloodline, and he's kind of just, given a lot early on in his career, and he's not, necessarily, he hasn't really necessarily capitalized on his feuds with like, John Cena and such and such, but he's now found himself facing, the fork in the road. Will he join the back with the bloodline and kind of regress into that, a guy behind Roman Reigns role, or does he want to now be, kind of in a buddy cop role with LA Knight as a babyface, which I think is hopefully what they maintain and do. But you just, at the same time, I also don't trust Solo. So,
yeah, that's fair. And they're teaming up with Royce Keys. Royce Keys getting a big match and spot on SummerSlam, which is nice. And they're taking on the Bloodline, Jacob Fatu, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso. What do you think happens here? Do you think that the good guys get a victory here and the Bloodline takes an L? Like what? I'm kind of torn with who wins the match. I do feel like LA Knight just has a lot of momentum right now, and it would be good for him to get a victory, and Solo, and everybody, but the Bloodline don't take too many L's, Jimmy.
This is a tough match to predict. I really don't know, and it's kind of because like mostly there's really no stakes on the line per se. And also in the back of my mind, could Solo turn? I also kind of think, Royce Keys
I was going to ask.
Is buddy a little bit with Jacob Fatu. We've seen on screen and some backstage stuff on SmackDown. Like they definitely have a prior relationship. Could he be somewhat of a helping hand down the road, Royce Keys? And what a strong helping hand that would be. And that'd be kind of a swerve instead of the predictable Solo turn. But so that would kind of, and also too, Jacob Fatu, who has been absolutely, people want to talk about Braun Breaker being fumbled. Jacob Fatu is Roman Reigns' bitch. So
yes.
he needs a win too. So I lean towards Fatu and the Usos. I would.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm leaning as well. I do like LA Knight. I know not everyone is as high as on, but like but yeah, I would lean Bloodline as well. But I fully agree with you. I lump Jacob Fatu right in there with Braun Breaker, and obviously I knew Roman wasn't going to be losing any titles, but Jacob Fatu couldn't have won that title for a month. He just couldn't have upset Roman for a month, and then Roman wins it back. You know what I mean? Like
they neutered him. I think it's fine that he didn't win the title, but just even the way they've handled him since.
Yeah, I fully agree. I think they've, like you said it pretty bluntly. He's become Roman Reigns' bitch. That's all he really is, just doing the dirty work for Roman. And yeah, I don't know, man.
Are you saying Seth Rollins was right about Fatu being his bitch?
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes, we are.
Do I sound better? Look better? Is this working?
Absolutely.
You do look. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes,
okay. I switched up to the phone and.
Hey man, whatever works. We did talk about Oba and Brock. We assume that you think Oba's winning like all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they don't do that, then that's criminal, and I'll be really upset.
Yeah. And then
I think a lot of us would be, right? Like
I'm still upset that they.
This is why you do the
they
third
had him
match.
lose the last match. I thought that was unnecessary for him to lose that last match. You could have still gotten to where we are on Saturday without Oba losing it all.
Yeah.
But I digress. And then we just finished talking about the men's 6-man LA Knight, Solo, and Royce Keys against the Bloodline. We're kind of in the middle, kind of torn here. I feel like both teams have reasons why they need the win, but we both lean Bloodline because they are, in fact, the Bloodline, and they usually don't lose often.
And LA Knight loses all the time.
He shouldn't.
He shouldn't. He's incredibly over despite his win-loss record. It would make sense for them to get the win over the Bloodline here, but I still don't know what's going on with Solo, right?
I'm digging it. I'm digging it, by the way. He's getting over. He's getting over.
I hope he doesn't join the Bloodline. I know that's something that they keep telling him, like, just come home. And eventually family pressure might get to him, but this face Solo's awesome. So
it's working. It's working.
Well, with John's prediction of Seth winning, if the Bloodline took a loss here, Roman took a loss, it could be a rough night for the Bloodline. Can Jay and Jacob still coexist? Right, that's part of it too. So you could lean the faces here.
Yeah,
I can't pick against the Bloodline though, but I see why the faces should get the win.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna go with the Bloodline too, guys.
Is that a Toronto Raptors hoodie you're wearing?
It is.
Are you ever getting Kawhi?
I don't think so.
Are they ever getting Kawhi?
I just saw a report today that they are now afraid to get Kawhi if all the penalties are going to come.
Fair enough.
I almost wore the Mavericks hoodie I have, but I brought a couple hoodies today because it's supposed to rain this weekend.
It's been raining for like 2 straight days in Massachusetts. It's been rainy and dreary.
It's been raining ever since Jaylen Brown got traded.
Listen, don't bring it up too soon, bro. Don't bring it up. It's the Celtics' fault. Now LeBron's there. It's all the Celtics' fault. It's all the Celtics' fault. Come on, who are we kidding? Opening night should be Sixers.
I hope
Celtics. Like that's opening night, right?
Yeah, I hope Hugo Gonzalez is an all NBA talent. That's all I'm going to say.
Listen, he's going to be the sixth man of the year this year.
That was the piece that kept you from Giannis, which now it's domino affected the super team. In
Jason
Philly.
Tatum's going to average 38 points a game and win the MVP. We're going to be fine. We're going to be fine. All right, let's keep with the six woman tag. It's the Bella Twins and Paige going against Fatal Influence. I smell a turn here. Don't know if it'll be during the match, after the match. But one of, if not both, the Bellas are turning on Paige here, right, guys? I mean, that's Nikki.
Why not have Paige turn on them?
I don't know. I feel like Paige is just kind of on a really good baby. I don't know. I feel like Paige should be the baby face coming out of it because I think the crowd is genuinely excited she's back. And her that was a makeshift team, but they were actually pretty good. Those two, like they were having some good matches. Paige looked great in those matches, in particular, like better than I thought she would. I don't know. I just have a feeling that they're going to lose this match. Fatal Influence and JC Jane in particular, I think is going to get a big victory. And then I don't know if it'll be both Bellas or maybe it's Nikki first and then they both go or whatever. But I have a feeling that Nikki Bella is going to turn on Paige just because she's going to be like, I know I was injured, but like you thought you could take my spot with my, kind of that type of thing, Jimmy.
I wasn't smelling any type of heel turn. Now you guys got me scared. I have Paige and the Bellas nostalgia tore it up. And like you mentioned, I wasn't necessarily a fan of their matches per se of Brie and Paige's tag run, but they won almost all of them. They are they are the next coming of LOD, I would say. So I think they carry that momentum, and we get a nice big happy I don't want to say Divas era. They were Divas era. Divas era nostalgia, like, yay, these three big stars. Like, Nikki Bella's back. That's huge. Like, I have them winning, but also Fatal Influence, a young, newer team. They for sure could win. Congratulations to the new tag team champions. And I wish JC Jane was in the ladder match, but
we can talk about that when we.
I'm going with the Bellas and Paige.
All right, you're going with the Bellas and Paige. All right, I'm going the other way. I'm picking Fatal Influence. Pluggo, you're breaking the tie here, man.
All right, and remind me not to touch anything.
Yeah, don't touch anything. Don't press the buttons. Don't press the buttons.
Fatal Influence being new tag champs. they should get the win. Like you said, JC should be in this ladder match. She should have her own thing going on right now. But Mrs. Pluggo would kill me if I picked against the Bella twins because that's her girls. So I'm gonna go with that. But I think I'm gonna go with it for Mrs. Pluggo's sake. But
okay,
my head says Fatal Influence is probably gonna get the win here. Showcase match, and then like you said, maybe the heel turn happens after that. After they take another loss.
We got our pal Scott in the chat saying, I don't know if he means after the heel turn, but he says this is where you debut Tatum Paxley and have her team with Paige.
Ooh.
So maybe
I love it, but it won't happen.
No, I think Tatum Paxley should come up and be involved with Lyra and be like a creepy fucking tag team, like of just like, you know.
I'm open to it. Tatum Paxley's fantastic.
Oh, she's great. She's great. And I'm really digging what they're doing with Lyra right now too. All right. You know, it wasn't the match that I talked about as my hot take because I don't have a hot take to the actual match. I think the winner is pretty easy to pick. But one of the matches that I'm looking forward to the most all weekend is Gunther versus Nick Aldis.
Oh,
I am very excited to see Nick Aldis get this match. I don't know if you saw the clip making the rounds today on social media. He was on the Chris Van Vliet show and he was asked about the match and he got super emotional about it. So you can tell this means a lot to him. It means a lot to his family. Nick Aldis at one point was considered, when he was the TNA NWA guy, like he was on the PWI lists in the top 10 for wrestlers of the year after year after year. I was lucky to be at the original All Out before AEW existed. He had a tremendous match with Cody when Cody beat him for the 8 pounds of gold there. I mean, this guy is a really, really good wrestler. I know obviously he's been with the company for years now and hasn't wrestled yet. So I hope, you know, there's no rust or anything like that. But I think him and Gunther are going to have, you know, to do an old school term, this is going to be a fucking barn burner on Saturday night here with these two. I think Gunther, no brainer, is the winner. Like, I don't think Aldis is going to, in his first match in 3 years, beat Gunther. But this is going to be really fucking good, Pluggo. I think this is going to be really good.
Yeah. No, Aldis is the man if you've ever watched any of his stuff. Like, I think I was saying this the other day, doing a preview with our boy Wells. Like, I think a lot of people are going to have their eyes open to what Nick Aldis can do, right? Like, a lot of the WWE fan base doesn't know. Like, because when he signed, I thought it was crazy that he was just going to be the general manager. I was like, yeah, he can go. And the storyline has progressed really nice. And I thought his turn on Gunther at, what was that?
Night of Champions.
Saturday
Night's main event. The tag match.
Yeah. That was more of a Nick's love fest than anything. I don't remember anything but Cat.
Yeah, so I blocked it out of my brain because it was repulsive and disgusting.
But yeah, I think he's going to have a hell of a showing. I can't imagine he beats Gunther. That would be crazy to me. But at the same time, when is Gunther going to take a clean loss here? He hasn't taken a clean loss since he retired Styles, right? So,
I mean, he shouldn't be taking losses to begin with. But
can't win forever.
I know. I get it. GG in the chat. Thank you for the follow, my friend. We appreciate that. Thank you for being here, hopping in the chat. Jimmy. Yeah, this is easily, especially on night one, but this is easily one of my most anticipated matches of the weekend. I'm very interested to see Aldis get in there and get this moment. And you knew Gunther can have a good to great match with anybody. This is gonna be good.
You call it the 8 pounds of gold, but that is only called for men that hold it. It is the real world's championship to you, JP.
All right,
I love Nick Aldis, dude. I'm so excited for this. I am worried though. That interview that he had, he gets emotional. That worries me. It's been 3 years. Can the guy behind the nice chiseled blue suit still go? He mentioned conditioning. I'm looking forward to that. But I'm a big fan of him, and I'm so happy he got over. As a SmackDown GM, to me, one of my hot takes is he is the best SmackDown GM of all time. I'm sorry, Teddy Long. You know, go book a tag match elsewhere.
Yeah, Jimmy from the Key, you got to go one-on-one with the Undertaker, player.
he's a fine number 2.
Wait a minute now. I will wait for the thumbs up. But we might have a shocking return backstage, making his return to this show. He just popped in. I will wait and do the thumbs up when he gives me the thumbs up. But
who's returning to the show?
Oh, he just left. It looked like John was trying to hop back on here, and he had his phone going. So
he
we'll see.
He didn't like Jimmy's Teddy Long take.
He was like, "I got to get back." He's like, "I got to get back in there." He's like, "Jimmy is soiling our name in there. I can't. I got to get back in there."
What is this guy doing?
No,
I will say,
I'll say this for like,
I loved all this is like you said, the emotional thing. It does give you that, like, when you're watching the match now, you're like, anything he does, you're like, holy shit, dude's better than he thought he was going to be. And I don't think anybody's mentioned it yet. Gunther can have a good match with anybody. So you know he's going to carry him. You know he's going to have Nick in the right spots. Even if Nick has some rust, you know Gunther's going to be able to mask it. And I think they're going to tell a hell of a story for sure.
Gunther might hit rock bottom, where I was kind of predicting this a little bit, and I was someone very much in the minority that liked Gunther's Pat McAfee Backlash match, where I thought Pat McAfee could have possibly won that match and kind of put Gunther at a rock bottom where he loses to a commentator. Because what would it say if Gunther loses to the guy who hasn't wrestled in 3 years, the GM? So, but that could be what happens, and that would be a shocking SummerSlam moment.
It would. All right. We do have a shocking return. It is John Moonsalt's music that is being played over the loudspeakers right now, and he is back.
If you smell.
Look at his face. You can see his face.
What up? Yeah, and I got my camera. Whole thing.
He's only doing that so our fan base believes us that you were coming on. He's like, I got to at least show my face with these guys.
Plus, like, the handsome meter's already at a 10. I figured, why not break it to 12? Huh,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Whole thing, I had to, help a friend get in, and they also locked. They're missing their keys and their car keys and their house keys. So now I'm at their.
What the hell?
And it's all.
How does that happen?
I genuinely don't know. So you got me for another, I don't know, 20. I don't know, but I'm here.
That's
I'm back.
fine.
No, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt and derail.
No,
JPJ, your house keys and car keys aren't on the same
Listen,
ring?
I am never going to knock anyone about losing keys. I have done that a million times in my life, especially in a drunken stupor trying to get back into households in my 20s. However, losing both at the same time, that's crazy work.
Mine are on the same key ring. Do you have your car keys and your house keys on separate key rings, JPJ?
No.
I don't know.
Do you, John?
No, this is not me. I don't know.
Unbelievable.
I lost my keys last
at the
week.
same time.
There we go. You lost your keys last week. So there you go. We've been running through night one, John. We did talk about, obviously, we've talked about Oba and Brock. We were kind of all in agreement, as I assume you were. Oba's definitely taking care of business there.
And there's no other option.
Yeah. And then we just finished. We talked about both six-person tag matches, and we just finished talking about Gunther and Nick Aldis. You asked the question. I said it wasn't really a hot take, so I didn't mention it. I talked about a different match, but one of the matches I'm looking forward to the most is Nick Aldis. I want to see Nick Aldis wrestle, and being in there with Gunther, like, it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, I'm someone that, unlike Jimmy, wasn't tapped into his NWA championship run. Like, I don't think I've ever watched a Nick Aldis match. Call me a fake wrestling fan all you want. But yeah, so I'm also, and I was kind of, me and Jimmy were having this conversation where, like, in kayfabe on WWE TV, it's like, I think they have mentioned he was an NWA champion, but for the most part, it's kind of being played as like, this guy's not a wrestler. You know what I mean? Even though he is 38, 39 years old, younger than the whole main event scene. And probably can definitely still go. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I do have Gunther. Does anyone have Nick Aldis in the chat? Or here?
I don't think any of us do.
Okay, I was just curious.
I'm rooting for him though.
For sure.
That's fair.
I will say Nick Aldis is younger than I am, and that makes me need to reevaluate a few things in my life.
It's true. It's true.
You would look just as good in one of those blue suits. Pluggo for GM. The GM spot's open now.
It is. Did he have to fully give up the GM spot to have this match like forever though? Forever.
I think so.
Okay.
Which is unusual. They've never done that. Have they ever done that before? Where they're like, if you want to wrestle this match, they usually just go, okay, you're the boss, you're going to fight the wrestler, and then this is the first time I've seen them do that. So that was interesting. Maybe this does mean we're going to get like a full-time Nick Aldis return where he's actually going to be in the mix.
That'd be nice.
So that'll be cool.
Yeah. All right, we have a singles match, the Women's World Championship. The winner of the Queen of the Ring defeating the champion Liv Morgan in the finals of that tournament. And then she just said, we're running it back. And we're running it back. I do expect this match to probably one-up the match they had at the Queen of the Ring. This is Liv Morgan's first title defense in the over 100 days since she's won that thing. I'm expecting another good match, but I'm John, I'll swing to you. I think Liv's retaining here, if I had to pick.
See, I got Io.
Okay.
My whole thing is just, and this doesn't necessarily mean Io's winning. I'm also just a big Io fan. I think she's the best wrestler in the company, men and women. But Liv's title run has been pretty bad objectively, and it's due to the booking. It's no due to Liv herself. I'm a big Liv Morgan fan. She hasn't defended the belt in 100-something days. She's not having matches. Also, though, when Io was the world champion X amount of time ago, she also wasn't even wrestling on TV, and she was missing. So point being is, my reasoning for Io is I think this is going to be like a reset of the world title. And like, okay, like, you know, they didn't do anything with Liv. Maybe they'll book something with Io. Now, to contradict myself, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to all of a sudden book the women's world champion well, just because they, you know what I mean? So I don't blame anyone for having Io. I think it's a real I don't blame anyone for having Liv. I think it's a real toss-up. But I just have Io because I'm like, they're just going to do something new and take the title off Liv.
Okay. What are you thinking about, Pluggo?
So I did some research because I'm here, and they're doing the SummerSlam takeover, and they have a bunch of photo ops. The only two people to sell out their photo ops was Liv Morgan and Obafemi.
Oh.
She's that over. She's flexing on ESPN that she hasn't had to defend the title. It'd be crazy.
Is that a flex, though? Is that a flex?
But that's what I'm saying. She's trying to turn it into a flex. But so my thought process is her first defense in 100-plus days, she's going to take an L. That I don't know, right? Like, we got to balance it out a little bit. I love Io Sky, man. I think Io Sky is a lot of fun, but ultimately, I would like to see, if Rhea ever comes back and gets healthy, I'd like to see Io and Rhea, and then them revisit Liv and Stephanie if she ever gets healthy. There's a lot of things they put on hold. I'm going to take Liv Morgan here. Just, she's going to find a way to do it, but I don't know if she'll hold it much longer after that, but she's got to get that first defense at her, win, right? Come on, John.
We'll see. I don't know.
But also, interesting what you said about the the photo ops were sold out.
Yeah, those two are so over, dude. It's crazy.
So you got to put in perspective. These are wrestling fans. You have like the hottest wrestler on the roster, right? And then you have Liv Morgan. So, like, of course they're going to sell out. that joke, no.
I got it. No, I got it.
I know
that
joke.
It hit.
Okay, all right. There's a little bit of delay.
No, I get it. No. That was good.
You have a 100-day reign, and you have also a pop charting hit single that you have to promote, and you have to do press and do all these interviews for. She's a multi-million-dollar musician and wrestler. You're busy to defend the title, so it happens.
Yeah. Well, we
is cursed by Danhausen.
I was just going to say, somebody in the chat says she is still cursed by Danhausen. So Jimmy, we have your pick remaining. Does that sway you at all, and maybe going with your Stache Club partner here and picking Io, because she is technically still cursed?
It is Stache Club Wrestling is a Io Sky podcast. We are Io Sky Glazers, defenders, whatever you want to call us. I'm also going with Io Sky. Nice. I just think Liv Morgan is going to be outclassed, and I'm going with the fact that Io beat Liv in the Queen of the Ring finals. What's going to change? I think Raquel's probably recovering from winning the IC title in a bruising match against Sol Ruca. I think Roxanne's out to lunch. She's not focused on the ball, so I'm picking Io.
All right, I like it.
We should put a little more respect on Io Sky. She is in our intro.
She is in our intro. She is. Look at Io's one. I agree with John. Like, Io's one of the short list best wrestlers in the world. Like, no disrespect. I think it would be. I mean, it would kind of fit the Liv character if she were to lose the first title defense, especially with her being cocky about not defending the title. Now you're just opening yourself up to lose that first defense because you're being cocky about it. But yeah, we'll see. And then we have our main event of night one, singles match, undisputed WWE Championship, CM Punk defending against Cody Rhodes. I expect this match to be stellar. I think it's going to be a very, very good main event. But the story is these guys are buddies. These guys are pals. They're brothers. They're mentor, mentee, however you want to look at it. But there's been growing tension a little bit week after week after week after week. A lot of people debating, well, one of them has to turn heel. Who's going to turn heel? Who's going to turn heel? John, you asked before you hopped off the first time a little earlier. I said that I think Cody is turning heel. They're actually going to do it at the end of the show because I think CM Punk will retain in a hard-fought battle. I think CM Punk retains, and I think Cody then turns on CM Punk afterwards, and we kind of keep this puppy going with these two. I expect this to go all the way through Mania with these two guys. That's what I'm kind of thinking. Jimmy, why don't we go to you first on this one? How you feeling? I saw you kind of like pondering so things. Yeah.
I'm very stressed because Cody Rhodes is my guy, QB1. He is a role model for me and all the children out there. And while it worries me and pains me to see him go to the dark side, it also is kind of dangerous and exciting and kind of the right thing to do. Because I'm also sick and tired of these anti-Cody crybabies out there that take the guy for granted. This guy puts it on the line every week, and I mean this match too is just so monumental. I mean here we have two guys that for me were they mentioned without mentioning it the AEW road and what that kind of meant, where Cody founded that company and was actually the answer to the call from the voice of the voiceless when Punk left and took his ball and went home. So I do, when you talk about Cody turning heel, I also, if that happens, I want him to win as well too. So I mean, of course, it's definitely foreseeable that if he were to lose, then do it. But maybe even low blow during the match, and then because my golden boy, if he's gonna go to the dark side, he better be taking something with him.
Fair, I like that. If he does go to the dark side, do you want the jet black hair back, or does he keep the blonde?
If you can somehow get it blonder, maybe you do that. But also, I get
that's the wrong question, Jimmy.
Sorry.
If he goes to the dark side, are you going to match his hair color regardless?
I love your idea, and that will be a confirmed thing moving forward. Absolutely.
Oh, like it. I like it.
All right, now I'm rooting for the Cody Rhodes jet black emo. Let's go, baby.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to be looking like Paulie Walnuts.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. John, what do you think is going to be happening on the main event of night one here with these two?
I love you guys' fantasy booking. But I've also drank this Kool-Aid before. I've also convinced myself of this is the time. This is the time they're doing it. And Jimmy's he left, but Jimmy even convinced me a couple of times when I would get down that rabbit hole, and he'd be like, "No, it's not the time." I don't know. My pick is I do think CM Punk's winning. I do think Cody Rhodes is on a lull right now. I think CM Punk is a guy to be the world champion. I really loved his World Heavyweight Championship run. Even as someone who is admittedly not the biggest Punk guy, I'm loving this era of late stage or late career CM Punk. I'm gonna say if we're even making predictions past that, I'm gonna hedge my bet and I'm gonna say a Punk win, but no Cody heel turn.
Okay. Okay, I like it. Now, Pluggo, you are a Punk guy. You're a big Punk guy. What do you think? What's going on here with your boy and Cody on Saturday?
Something. I think something's going to happen, because if this is the main event of night one, you got to leave us wanting something more, or something big's going to happen. They're going to steal some headlines. But I think I'm kind of aligned with the Punk's going to win the thing. Cody's going to get frustrated, and there's going to be some type of, gentleman. Punk's going to go for a handshake, and Cody's kind of blow it off, and it'll become a thing. But yeah, I'm taking CM Punk. I think he's doing some good work right now with this title, and there's still some stuff he can do. He just got to SmackDown. he's just, so we're going to set the table there. You still got the Sami Zayn stuff, Finn Balor stuff in the mix. So there's a lot going on in the main event scene right now in SmackDown. And I think Punk's going to keep doing it. Would it be Cody's QB1, but if he just wins it back, I think that actually will turn the fans will be annoyed more. And if he chases Punk a little bit, but if he chases Punk a little bit more, like you said, through till maybe Mania, then we're like, okay, cool. I think that's more than just having him SummerSlam.
Yeah, or it does go the route where I agree with you. If Cody were to just win and like he's still just the Cody we're used to,
that'd be cool.
But yes, so that's where Jimmy comes in and says if they were to do something heel turnish with Cody, he would want him to win the title because then you can get the title back on him, and now it's different. And it's like, oh, this isn't the same old Cody just winning the title again for the 4th time. This is, all right, now we got asshole Cody with the title, which is nice.
I mean,
And
you know what, too, that like makes me even lean toward a heel turn, too, is like, my opinion of WWE right now is I don't think they take risks. And the fact that this is the night 1 main event, I don't know if we want to have that conversation, but if this is ending night 1 and not ending night 2 as the main event for the whole weekend, it makes me feel like WWE could take a risk on the night 1 main event. And I use the term risk. I don't know if they're thinking like people won't like the Cody heel turn or whatever, but like the results of night 2 feels cleaner to me, and you can kind of mess around with the main event of night 1 and try some stuff.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
If that makes
I
sense.
agree.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. And I think if you're doing it in this scenario, because I get it, like Cody has been the QB1. He's still super duper over. He's still a top merch seller. I get that. And if you turn him heel, you are sacrificing some of that, obviously. But at the same time, if CM Punk is the guy on the other side of the ring in a long-term feud, he is at that level that I don't think you're losing much if you want to take a gamble. You know what I mean? Like I just don't think you're losing much. Plus you have, if Oba goes over Brock, you have him lifted to another stratosphere of babyface. Like you have these other guys that can kind of come in and fill in that void of what you might lose. But again, I think personally, if Cody turns heel, with the way the crowds react to things, I think that lights a fire under Cody, and he's going to be arguably more popular because he's like a heel. You know what I mean? So
that's kind of a bad thing to do.
It is.
And I've said that before too, where it's like you really want you want Cody to turn heel. Why? So you can cheer him. Like modern day wrestling, it's so tough. And then that's the thing too. We're kind of sleeping on the other guy turning to the dark side a little bit too. That CM could stand for corporate made in a second, because that's kind of what Phil is these days. He's kind of corporate made, and he might not want to say goodbye to that WWE Championship. I can already see it now. He turns heel Monday Night Raw. He sits in the middle of the ring, cross leg, and he's going to do a pipe bomb. Out comes Brandy Rhodes. Who told you it was open mic night, bitch? It could happen.
I'm here for some Brandy Rhodes return.
Yeah, Grayson Waller pipe bomb that we saw on Tuesday. All right, well, so before we move on from that, because we have just been strictly talking about Cody, the guy on the other side of the ring, one of the all-time great heels in the history of the business, and CM Punk could automatically go back to that level of being a heel whenever the fuck he wants to. Are we not even mentioning that as a scenario? That has to also be a scenario as well. Maybe, like you said, Punk's going to lose. Cody's going to beat him, and Punk does whatever he has to do to keep the belt.
They were calling CM Hogan for a bit. People forget.
But CM Punk, he was trying to be a little bit of a heel with Roman, and people were loving it. I don't think people are going to boo CM Punk if he goes heel, because I think people are going to be like, hell yeah, we're getting heel CM Punk. If Cody does it, it's a huge moment. It grabs headlines. It becomes super intriguing, as he's kind of teased it with the way he's wrestled a little bit over the last year or so, especially with Randy. But
yeah,
we'll see. It's going to be.
I think Cody could actually generate real heat.
I do too. I do too. I think if Cody turned heel and did it the right way, he would be. I think Cody, even though he's so over and loved, he could absolutely be just a mega heel that the crowd actually has straight up disdain for if they do it right. I really feel that way. Yeah. So we'll see. Interesting which way they can go with it. Then we switch on over to night 2. I think night 1 is the stronger night of the 2 in total, I would say. Pretty, but there are some good matches here. We mentioned it. The human money's on a pole. Dominic Mysterio, how the mighty have fallen. And I like Danhausen. But goddamn, this guy was the most over heel in the fucking company a year and a half ago. Human money's on a pole match versus Danhausen. If I'm betting money on it, if I have to put the DraftKings slip in, I'm probably picking Danhausen. But
FanDuel,
boy,
sorry,
Dominic.
FanDuel.
Sorry, my bad.
FanDuel.
My bad. If we do FanDuel slip, I'm probably betting money on Danhausen. However, I am steadfast that Dominic should win this match. But I don't think he's gonna.
I don't have much to say because I have the exact same sentiment. I like both these guys. I do think, and it's been, there's so many talks on the internet now how overexposed maybe Danhausen might be right now. Whatever. Regardless of that, I'm in this. It's like last year at SummerSlam, Dom was facing AJ Styles. He was coming off a rub by John Cena, and then now, and the argument people have is like, well, Dom's facing the top merch seller in the company, so that's something. I guess so. If that's how you watch wrestling, God bless you. But I agree with you. My hot take is I think Dom should have already been a world champion. I know, crazy. But
he is a world champion.
Sorry, a WWE, even though AAA is WWE, I guess now. But
You know what he means. We know what you mean.
I agree. What do you guys think? This is Dom's money. This is Dom's money that Danhausen stole, by the way. Pluggo, you mentioned that earlier. That was a great point by you, Pluggo. This is Dom's money.
So Danhausen
has not shied away from the fact that he took that money.
He stole that shit straight up.
Straight up just took that money and was like, I'm the New York Knicks unofficial mascot. I can do whatever I want.
Another reason why I'm not rooting for Danhausen in this particular match.
The only thing I keep coming back to, and I mean, the stipulation would you just get the money off the pool, so nobody has to take a pin here, nobody has to take an L here. Joe Hendry's going to come out and try to save his boy because that's what Joe Hendry has been reduced to, is just getting thrown into feuds. So he'll help counteract the Judgment Day thing. If you want to do the whole Dom's a world champ and they got AAA coming up, and he doesn't want to lose, but Danhausen, just until Danhausen takes a loss in these situations, I can't pick against him because they are, for better or worse, whether you agree or disagree, shoving him down our throats, and he's printing human monies and getting a one-up on the heel Judgment Day faction after what happened on Monday night.
Oof. What a segment, huh?
Yeah. I didn't know who that guy was until I did some research, and I was like, ugh. But I just bet, like, after all that happened, and they got, he's in the back getting beat up, he's gonna get the win back here, and Dom's gonna continue to look like a guy with egg on his face. Poor Dom.
Yeah, poor Dom is right.
From winning the IC title over John Cena
at Survivor Series.
Are there really wrestling fans that believe that wrestling on top merch seller is a big deal?
I don't know.
But it's kind of like the Oba giving up the world title thing. We wrestle for championships, not for these non-accolades.
Yeah, I don't know. Jimmy, make some sense of this.
Well, Brock Lesnar, Hell in a Cell, Undertaker casket match, Scott Steiner, Judy Bagwell on a pole match.
Hell yeah, let me get that.
It's Danhausen all the way. It's also, I think, Dom might be outnumbered by the Mini-Hausens. I like the Mini-Hausens. I was a big fan of the SmackDown Juniors division growing up, SmackDown 2006. And so I like the little folks. And this is Dom's doing comedy at SummerSlam. It's definitely a bit unfortunate, but I think it sort of matches his, one thing I'll say about Dom is his physical stature is kind of limited, where he's usually the smaller guy working in a match. I'm looking forward to him definitely roughhousing Danhausen for the majority of this match, hopefully, and looking strong throughout. But I do think Danhausen will probably win this match.
Yeah. What will Danhausen clone at SummerSlam, if you had to guess, guys?
Justin Jefferson.
Oh, I was gonna say it could be because I think they might have dropped it, but I thought Danhausen was gonna reincarnate the gingerbread man because he picked up the costume out of the trash, and he does have that machine. And I thought he was, I thought that's what Baron Corbin was going to be doing, but maybe him.
Yeah, I don't know.
Jefferson, that'd be interesting.
Yeah,
Tyler Murray available. He'd be a Littlehausen though.
Yeah, he would. He's a little guy. He's a little guy. All right, we have a 5-way ladder match for the interim WWE Women's Championship. We know Tiffany Stratton is in there. We know Jade Cargill is in there. We know Chelsea Green is in there. We know Charlotte Flair is in there. And then the winner of Julia or Lash Legend will be the 5th member of this match. Obviously, Rhea Ripley is injured. First and foremost, before we start, picking our picks here, how do we feel about them going the interim route as opposed to them having Rhea vacate the title? How do we feel about that in general?
Can I give my 2 cents? And then I believe that is my time is up again. My time is now tournament. My time is up tournament in December. I like it. I know, I think me and Jimmy share a similar sentiment. I think you can honestly speak better than I can on it. But I like the interim championship. We don't know how long Rhea's out. My assumption, if they're doing this, that means Rhea's not out for too long. And when's the last time we got no, this is the real title. No, this is the real title. And there's 2 champions. I don't mind it. It's something different. It's a different storyline in the women's division. And again, that tells me the assumption is Rhea isn't going to be out for too long. And it gives an opportunity for, again, not my pick. My pick is Charlotte to get out of the way. But fan favorite I see is Chelsea Green. I would love it. I think this is a perfect opportunity to give it to Chelsea. And that's an easy, Chelsea character being no, I'm the real champ. And then, a program with Rhea would be sick. But I ultimately like it. That's kind of where I'm at and where I might bid you bearded fellas adieu.
All right. Well, real quick, because I know you got to go.
Talking, hit me.
Your hot take was that Seth is beating Roman. We will get to that. We'll talk. The 3 of us will talk about that at length. Before you leave, I just need quickly, or your reasoning of why you are leaning with Seth winning this match.
Oh, okay. I mean, so on the channel, we do confidence points, right? So oftentimes we'll have the same amount of picks, but we'll do okay, I put 10 points on this guy, I put 8 points on this guy, and it helps, whatever. I do have this match for 1 point. I wouldn't say I'm overly confident, but, and I do the probability is Roman is probably going to win and close out SummerSlam with one finger in the air and the title in the other, right? But I just think the story of Seth Rollins winning the title, it's fresh. Roman can go off and do, another movie or whatever. But I like the idea of Roman never beating Seth. I know they want Roman to be the perfect overall wrestler, and he's done everything, and he's beaten everyone. He's the best wrestler in the world. But to me, the story, this is fancy of me, I guess, the story of he's beaten everyone. He had a 4-year reign, but he never had Seth's number. On, in WWE's terms, they've had matches before and they beat each other, blah, blah. But in this, story we're living in where it's, you've never beaten me when it counts. I like the idea of this one Shield member, the guy that's always been on his tails, he just can't beat. He's got him in sales. He's got him in attraction. And I think that's just a cool thing for if we look down the road, all these guys are retired. It's a cool just character thing to talk about this wrestler. Roman never had Seth's number. Well, Seth never did this. And to me, it's just a little boring just to have Roman win and then, oh, great, Roman beats everyone and that's it. With that said, Roman's probably going to win. But I got Seth because I think that's more interesting.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. All right, cool. I just wanted to get that that out of you before you had to take off. Thank you for hopping back on. I know you had to take care of some business, so we appreciate you joining. We'll definitely plan this again because, we enjoyed having you, man.
Yeah, this rocks. I appreciate it again, guys. Thank you for letting me tap back in.
And,
of course.
Of course.
No one down the future.
All right. Sounds good, my man. Have a good rest of the night. We'll talk to you soon, brother.
See you, fellas. Have a good rest of the show. Peace.
All right. Thank you. Once again,
and that
John.
Was Johnny Moonsault until he comes back later.
I know, right? He pops in for a third time. He's like, curtain call, brother.
Like Mick Foley in the Rumble.
Yeah. So Pluggo, getting back to the ladder match, he mentioned Chelsea Green. You earlier had said that you think that that's what you want to happen here. Do you think that's what's gonna happen?
I want to happen. I love Chelsea Green. I think we all do. I think here's the thing: if they're doing this interim title, one, because like John said, Rhea's probably not too long. Because if they would have just stripped her of it, and also they probably would have stripped her of it had they had a solid plan. And a Rhea injury throws a big wrench into a lot of your plans because she's not just one of the most over women in the company. She's one of the most over people in the company.
Yep.
She's crazy over. So it gives them an opportunity and it gives them an out to try something off the wall or try something where they're kind of not sure about it, because then they could just go, it was the interim title anyway. Rhea's back. She's going to stomp out whoever. Business is back as usual. Why not swing so far where people are leaving SummerSlam going, holy shit, Chelsea Green, the lady that debuted, and had like the 3-second spot in the Rumble, is now our world champ? Because she's great on the mic. She does all the work. She puts in all the work. She could have a really fun program with Rhea when she comes back. I mean, but at the end of the day, we could probably be seeing Charlotte Rhea. That's probably what the angle is. That's the most layup storyline.
Charlotte and Rhea.
Why not take the shot? We always talk about how the WWE doesn't take enough chances. Here's a literal layup for you to do anything you want, because you've already got it in everybody's mind that this is just an interim thing anyway, and we're going to get back to Rhea. So why not swing for it and see what you have in maybe a Lash Legend or a Julia or a Chelsea Green, somebody that isn't Charlotte Flair, that we know what she can do.
Yeah, and I will tell you this. If they were to make that decision and roll with Chelsea Green, when she is climbing that ladder, that crowd is going to be losing their fucking minds if it looks like Chelsea Green is actually going to win this thing. Jimmy, what are you thinking for this ladder match?
I'm also picking Chelsea Green. My thing is, I just wish it wasn't more on the radar, because it is a underdog story. She should be not heavily favored, and I don't want to say if I know she is or not, but like I think it also just speaks to how popular she is and how people want her to see her finally break through that glass window. Obviously, I am the #1 Jade Cargill fan in the world, but we've already seen that. Plus, and even as a fan of hers, actually, I don't really want to see her to win the interim championship. I do like this interim championship idea, because I think it's more reflective of how mixed martial arts does it. And the one thing that's better about it when WWE does it is, in the world of mixed martial arts, the issue for them, in my opinion, as a casual fan of them, is how big fights, at least for me, happen once every 9 months. You get interim champions, then you end up getting 2 champions, and sometimes, because of circumstances, they don't even get the fight in the ring. This in WWE, we'll get the classic 2-title stare down, which I am a sucker for. So I do like the interim championship, and I think you can do something outside the box with a Chelsea Green winning, and having her having to very timidly wait for the return of Rhea Ripley to be like, yeah, we're gonna combine these belts, So and I love that match too. I think that match would rule Rhea versus Chelsea. So I do have Chelsea.
All right, I do like where both your heads are at. I think that will be the best moment.
Zack Ryder WrestleMania 32.
Yep, 100%. You get that little throwback there with Chelsea doing it. I do think, like you both said, we already know that once Rhea's healthy, we're going to get the interim versus her, and we most likely know Rhea's just going to win, and we're going to get back to the plan of Rhea being the champ. Potentially, they can always switch it up to,
Chelsea
whatever.
The roll up on Rhea.
But but like Chelsea Green, this is just an opportunity where, I agree with John that Rhea's probably not going to be out that long. Otherwise, they wouldn't be going the interim route. So this is an opportunity to just run with it. If Chelsea wins and it doesn't hit like they think it was going to hit, okay, she's only going to be the champion for a few weeks, a month, whatever. It doesn't, it's not like it's a forever thing. So I think this is a perfect.
Would the title reign actually count? And that's the thing where it's like, the WWE title history for multiple titles is so convoluted and confusing now, where it's like having an interim championship doesn't actually, to me, negate an actual reign. Like if Chelsea Green wins this match, she'll be a world champion, you know?
Right. And we'll all recognize her as such too, right? So like, and we'll all look at it as this like appreciation and thank you for everything you've done type of deal. And we're all going to look back on it and go, yeah, she was world champ, interim or not. And I think it could be a huge moment for her. And like you said, and she's just fantastic, man. She all around. I think you got a real opportunity here to do something. And she could fight like the Jade Cargills of the world and the Lash Legends of the world on SmackDown and do some things and be a fighting champion as well. That could be something too, where she's just challenging, you know, every week and she gets a couple of wins, gets some momentum, and then mommy comes back and boom, you know.
Because within the match, I have Jade and Charlotte kind of canceling each other out.
And that's where I was going. Because they seem to be building to a big match between the two of them, right? So can they, like you said, take each other out? Tiffany's the hometown girl, so she'll have a couple moments, and I don't think Tiffany's going to win at all, but she'll have a couple moments.
2 belts, who knows?
Yeah, she'll have a couple moments where it looks like she's going to win in front of the hometown crowd. But I really think this is an opportunity for Chelsea. With that being said, I am going to go heel, and I'm going to pick Charlotte Flair. Just to win the match. Just to win the match. I want Chelsea, but like Pluggo just said, I unlike Obafemi, I do this for championships. And you don't win championships being wrong. So, you know, that's how I look at it.
Fair enough.
All right. Singles match. Winner is the #1 contender for the undisputed WWE Championship. So we will know who the champion is at this point, being night 2. It's the former champion, Sami Zayn, going one-on-one with Finn Balor. We've seen CM Punk have championship matches with both these individuals this calendar year, with the great one he had with Finn in Ireland earlier this year and that great main event in Chicago where he beat Sami for that title. I would love it to be Finn. I think both. Listen, I wanted Sami Zayn to have a longer title reign, but I actually think the way that played out was perfect. I was not one of those people complaining about the CM Punk victory. I thought it played out to perfection. I love Sami as much as the next guy. I would have loved a longer title reign, but I actually think it works in his character's favor. It just does, the way Sami does things. I love Finn Balor, man. I love Finn Balor. I think Finn Balor should have already been world champion again since the first time he was world champion all that time ago. I want Finn Balor in the world title picture. However, and I'll go to you, Jimmy, after this, I think this is Sami. This is how Sami gets his rematch. Is he's gonna he could cheat, he could, I don't know, but I got Sami beating Finn Balor, and then we get kind of the Sami Punk rematch, so Sami can kind of stop his complaining.
One of these guys has won a WWE championship within this decade, and it's Sami Zayn. So I got Sami Zayn winning this match a little bit, honestly. He feels wrong. He's justified in greatly in feeling wrong, and I think he let out some frustration and wins this match. First, a game Finn Balor. I almost want to, kind of throw out a prediction where it's almost a double pin or like kind of double disqualification or something, because I think both these guys have an axe to grind with who I think is going to retain the WWE Championship, CM Punk. So I can see, even if, like, let's say Finn Balor wins, Sami Zayn's not going anywhere. He's going to be hovering around, still feeling like he's wronged. And I think Finn Balor, that would be tough for him to lose, because then where does he go? I don't know, because Sami Zayn, to me, if I had to pick one, I think Sami Zayn deserves it and will get it over Finn.
Pluggo, what do you think?
Is there a world where Finn Balor wins this and it just continues the same spiral, and then maybe he just like interjects himself into Finn's championship opportunity? We get some triple threat action out of this. That could be interesting.
This could be the start of something longer. You're right.
Yeah, it's like he's teetering right now, right? And he's like, another loss would might send him over to the edge, and we just get full blown, just like we're back to conspiracy Sami Zayn. I think it's tough. If I have to pick, I'm leaning Sami Zayn, because I think it's the story right now. But man, Finn Balor and Punk, and that was such a good match, dude. I'd love to see that again if we have Punk winning, if we're all in agreement there, like we talked earlier. So I'll take Sami Zayn. I love Sami Zayn, but I would like to see that triple threat. I think that'd be interesting. He just takes what he can get, just takes over SmackDown.
Yeah.
He just sits down, Kevin Owens down, I ain't leaving
Well,
until I get
all
what I
right.
want.
Pluggo, you just mentioned him.
Yeah.
I was going to throw this out there. He's
been over Minneapolis.
He's in Minneapolis. We've seen him, doing some pre-show stuff for NXT. He's been on July 7th. His last tweet that he posted on July 7th was a picture of the Boogeyman holding his clock. I believe as of yesterday or today, it has been 500 days since he has been on WWE main roster television. Is there a chance that we see Kevin Owens at some point this weekend or sometime soon involved with the Sami Zayn world title picture? He has history with Cody. He has history with Sami. He has history with Punk. Is there a situation where Kevin Owens we see sooner than later? I don't know his health situation at all.
Is there smoke to this? This is the first I'm hearing of this, boys.
I'm just saying
he's doing the takeover.
He's been doing the takeover stuff the last couple months. He's been on some pre-show panels. He's on LFG as a coach. He's been around. He's in.
I saw that Boogeyman picture too.
Correct. Like my thing is when usually in wrestling in general, not just company to company, but especially WWE, if you're out and you are actually injured, you are out of sight, out of mind. They don't talk about you. They don't mention you. They don't show highlights of shit you did at all. But then once they start trickling you back in and you see them on an NXT pre-show, you see them kind of doing the Cody pod. Once you start getting trickled back in and on their socials and on their things, that triggers to me, he might, and again, this is a serious neck thing, so I don't know anything. But that, just my vibe. Just my vibe is, back when I started watching Unreal, not huge on that show, but I started watching Unreal, they talk about Seth when he cashed in. I never believed that Seth was really hurt because every week on Raw, they told me about Seth Rollins being hurt. And if he was actually really hurt, they would not, out of sight, out of mind, they would not have mentioned him. And I kind of feel like Owens has been trickling back in to WWE affiliated things these last few months. I'm not saying it's going to be this weekend. It'd be great if it was because I missed that fella. But I think we're seeing KO soon. I really do. Whether that's aligning with Sami, I don't know. But is there a chance we see Kevin Owens this weekend at all? At all. He's in town.
My guard is so down because, the whole, like you just mentioned, him being trickled back in this with the neck injury, this could just be the next, endeavor because he's such a,
it is true. It is
legend and such a wealth of knowledge where he for sure, he could be the best person on commentary. Like whatever Kevin Owens decides to do post wrestling, he's going to be extraordinary at it. So, my guard's down, but like this is the first I'm hearing about it. Man, I'm so excited. I'm jacked up.
I'm just saying. I just wanted to throw that out there to the gang because I don't know, man.
Get your hopes up.
I know I'm going to, and I'm just going to be like, damn it. But yeah, all right. So we're all wait, Pluggo, did you pick Finn or did you pick Sami? You picked Sami.
I picked Sami.
Yeah.
Like
so
I'd love to see
Sami,
Finn, but
yeah,
I think there's just more stock in Sami right now than Finn.
Yeah, it's like the NFL pick show. So you're all with Sami Zayn, huh?
Which means Finn's going to win it. Kevin Owens is going to come back and cost Sami.
Correct. We have a singles match. We talked about him earlier. I think we won the Stache Club over on this individual. But Trick Williams defending the WWE United States Championship against Baron Corbin, who we saw return not too long ago. I don't think Baron Corbin's going to win this match by any means. I think it'd be cool, but I think Trick Williams is red hot. I think this is another just strong title defense and victory for Trick Williams. But Baron Corbin is back. He's getting thrusted right into a championship match at a pay-per-view, kind of, putting him into our minds. And maybe for anybody that didn't know him from the first run, kind of this guy's has some history here and stuff like that. But Pluggo, I got Trick retaining here. But I think our boy's going to have himself a good match. These are two big boys here. This is going to be I hope they give them some time because these two guys can beat the shit out of each other in this match is what I'm hoping.
And maybe Carmelo Hayes shows up and, gets his lick back on Baron Corbin there and gets Trick the win, even though Trick and Mello are, always kind of at odds. But
Carmelo, one of my boys, Carmelo.
Yeah. They could, Mr. Smooth, he's super cool, that dude. But
he sure is.
I think everybody's like, he's not on SummerSlam, so maybe this is how I get him there. But yeah, Trick's winning this thing.
Yeah. Jimmy, you seem like you might have been swayed earlier. But
I was sold a mighty nice pen earlier in the episode, and my hot take was Corbin winning the furry white U.S. title, and I'm sticking to my guns. I'm picking the Corbinator.
That thing to match his head.
Love it. Love it. I love it. I love it a lot. Maybe Mello does cost Trick. That's a thing that could happen. And then we kind of get.
We got
maybe
SmackDown
Mello.
tomorrow, so I hope by some stretch of a miracle he's maybe added to the match.
I would not hate that. I would not hate that if they made it a triple threat. I think that would be a lot of fun if they did that route. Carmelo really he got a raw deal heading into Mania time. I thought he should have been the U.S. champ heading into Mania time. And fought Trick, and Trick could have beat him then, and it could have been fine, and you got to that thing anyway. I know it's a big feud you have with these two, but I just feel like he's been on the sideline longer than he should be, Carmelo. And call me Boston bias all you want. I don't care. That guy's money. He looks the part. He can cut a promo. He's great in the ring. He proved he's a great babyface. He's a great heel. That guy is a 5-tool player. Use him as such, please. Use him as such. Okay. And I think what possibly could be the best wrestling match of the weekend, the Intercontinental Championship will be on the line. Penta, who has been a mighty, mighty fine Intercontinental Champion, is defending against the hometown boy, Chad Gable. Jimmy, is this the time? Is Chad Gable going to get his first ever singles championship Sunday night in his hometown at SummerSlam?
Skull. Yes, I mean Chad Gable's gonna. I don't know. I mean, this is gonna be a classic. Don't get me wrong. I call this match. I think this is gonna be WWE presents AEW. In terms of what to expect from the in-ring of this match, this could steal the match of the year if they get 20 minutes, and I believe so much so in Penta as a performer, and Chad Gable's on the run of his life. This is going to be his probably biggest accomplishment. It definitely will be his biggest accomplishment thus far in the WWE because he hasn't won a singles title for whatever gosh darn reason. Hometown boy, I think he's going to do it, and it's going to be first Penta, which is kind of comes full circle with his whole mission to becoming El Grande Americano and the whole going to Mexico thing, which to me that's the reigning match of the year right now is El Grande. Grande. So I got Chad for sure. Skull.
Yep. Pluggo, how you feeling about this?
Just as I'm sitting here listening to Jimmy talk, I'm thinking about it. If we went with the hometown, Tiffany Stratton, Brock Lesnar, and Chad Gable all get wins here at SummerSlam, right?
That'd be a sweet parlay, man.
It would be a great parlay. Right? It'd be a great parlay.
Yeah, dude.
You would win some money because I have
code Beards for. No, we don't have a.
I have to think that Tiffany and Brock alone have to be severe underdogs in their matches.
FanDuel, we'll take the sponsorship, but yeah. This is another one of these matches where you don't have a clear defined face or heel, right? So I feel like you could do this match without it, just these two guys. I know Chad had the history. It all started with Penta. You could go full circle here with the whole, he went, El Grande Americano. He went crazy. Now he's back. He gets one up on Penta there. I think that this is if I was putting confidence points on Chad Gable not walking out of SummerSlam with the IC championship would be criminal. That's what we've done. That is, for better or worse, whether you agreed with the Grande Americano stuff or not, this validates all that story. This validates everything that they told. Him winning it, it writes itself. Let's do it. Let's just.
And I agree, but this goes back even further than that a little bit. It goes back to when he turned heel on Sammy when he was supposed to beat Gunther for the IC title, and then Sammy won, and he turned heel in front of Sammy's kids, and then That whole thing happened, and then he went to the Americano. Like this is like a 2-year story they've been telling with this guy here to this moment in Minnesota, where he's from. And again, Penta has been a great IC champion, and Penta is one of the most over guys and biggest merch sellers as well. I think that this is just going to be two badass baby faces having a 20-minute classic. Best man wins. And I think Gable is going to be that best man. And then Penta has made it clear that he is a single star, but I would not hate the Lucha Brothers being closer to happening on the TV screen, on the TV show. Because I think the tag title scene could use a boost. And I think getting the Lucha Brothers just kind of added to your division, they walk in as the best tag team in your company. They're already there, but once you form them, that they're the top. And I think that we should be getting towards them kind of doing that. Because I think even though Penta's been terrific as a singles guy, I think we've all just been kind of waiting. Like, all right, when's he going to do stuff with Rey Fenix? And when are they going to be linked up, whether it's singles, but they're together or not? I think if he loses the singles title, I think that's a golden opportunity to maybe go down that route sooner than later if they want to go down that route.
Yeah, I appreciate you giving Penta his flowers as a good IC run too, because it really was. I think he really elevated Ethan Page. I know Ethan Page lost those matches, but to me that was really Ethan Page's best matches on the main roster, and like I'm still invested in what Ethan Page is doing on a week-to-week basis thanks to his matches against Penta.
Yep, I fully agree. I think he's been a great champion, a fighting champion, some great matches. We got our buddy Dan Brown in the chat. He says the tag division does need a boost. They should sign Motor City Machine Guns and New Day.
Guys, quiz right now. Who are the current SmackDown Tag Team Champions?
Damian Priest and R-Truth.
Yes.
Because we did this
Yes.
last week or something, and I was like, it took me a second, and then somebody was like, it's Damian Priest and R-Truth. I was like, oh yeah, duh.
Yeah.
I had a bad brain fart the other day. I'm like, wait a second, that's so bad that I don't know it offhand, but it hit me.
I'm just saying. If you, it seems like they're gonna do Big Cass as a solo guy from the vignettes we're seeing, but over the next 2, 3, 6 months, if you can add Enzo and Cass as a tag team and the Lucha Brothers, obviously for different reasons. One is more entertainment than in ring of the other, but like if you can add teams of that caliber to your tag team division, that'll work. Because right now you have the Raw tag team division, you have the champions, which are the Vision, which Braun Breaker looks like he just doesn't even want to work there anymore. If you see his facial expression, he's so out on this shit. It is unbelievable. And maybe that's the character they're playing. I don't know, but he's out on this shit. They're the champs. You have the Street Profits, who just came back and won, but had a short title reign. You got the Usos, but they're involved in bloodline shit. Who else is fighting for those American Alpha? They just wrote off Otis.
I believe you're cursed.
There you go. So, you know what I mean? You need some strong teams. So just something to think about. But, I think we're all going Chad Gable is going to get his moment. It should be a great one on Sunday night. And then we get to this main event. It is going to main event night 2, main event the weekend. Former stablemates, former brothers, former friends, bitter rivals. Roman Reigns defending the World Heavyweight Championship against his fellow Shield brethren, Seth Rollins. This match, you said it, Pluggo, right at the beginning. This match is going to be great. This is going to be a great main event. We know it's going to be a great main event.
Mm-hmm.
And this, I've actually liked the build to this. I don't need to see 4 fucking face-offs or how many different names you're going to give for them talking to each other like we have. I think it's been a bit excessive.
I just miss when the top guys would wrestle on the goddamn wrestling show.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Is Roman Reigns ever going to wrestle on Raw again?
I put a poll up and I got like 100 and something votes, and it was 27 73 no.
Yeah.
So 73% no.
Yeah.
Which is pretty sad. And like I remember back in the day, Rock and Austin, yes, the matches would probably end in a DQ after 2 minutes, but like they would still have a scheduled match on the card, man.
Yeah, of course. All those guys fought they'd be thrown in a 6-man tag or a tag team match or a whatever, but they were wrestling on the show, and it just feels like unless it's a match that's booked for a few weeks, like a big match, like they just don't wrestle. They just don't wrestle on the show. Rollins barely wrestles on Raw. Roman doesn't. Punk wrestled to win the title, but he very rarely wrestles on television. Yeah, man. When was the last time?
That's why Roman is such a heel to me, but yet, like, the WWE faithful, the universe, whatever you want to call them, they love to acknowledge him and pay the respects and cheer him. OTC, even when he's not in the building, he doesn't even bother to show up, and you're still cheering for him. And LA Knight has to, kind of put them in check for a bit, even though he's a babyface. Like, I'm waiting for the crowd, because Roman Reigns for sure probably is a tweener, I'd say right now. But like, to me, I'm rooting for Seth Rollins to win this match, man.
Yeah, I like the promo segment on Raw. I liked what happened at the end of the segment more than the totality of the segment. They said a lot of things that there's really nothing new to tell between these two guys. They've been together and intertwined with each other for 12 or 14 years since they've come up on the main roster. So there's not much. Crazy? Yeah, it's bananas. And there's not much more story to tell. It is what it is. Seth is the one that turned on Roman to end the Shield. Roman can't beat Seth. It's the one guy he can't beat. The cash-in on Roman from Seth. Like, there's so much shit that has gone on between these two guys. And all their matches are always good.
It's a great it's a great beard match, too.
It is. It is.
Yeah,
I like it. Yeah. I think I'm rooting for, like, if I'm rooting for Seth as well. But I don't know. Exactly. I can't. I mean, how can you pick against Roman?
Right.
How?
He'll find a way, and his, he's the big. Is he going to do it alone? He's got a bunch of help. Seth right now is kind of a lone wolf, unless you want to kick the tires with the Street Profits thing.
They don't trust him.
They don't trust him, and they haven't told that story since this became, since Seth started going world title picture. I mean, it's been a good story. The match is going to be good. They got good chemistry, but yeah, I think Roman's leaving the night with his hand raised, and the championship over his shoulder.
And that's the question, though: does the Bloodline get involved for the first time in Roman's reign?
Because that is true. Roman has been. And the matches he's defended the title since Mania, he's done it alone. That he's done it alone, because that was everybody. That's what, and rightfully so, because he went 4 years never winning anything alone. Yeah. So everybody, that's the main attack that they say. Well, you always have your Bloodline people out here helping you, and he hasn't fought many a times, but in the few times he's fought and defended the title since Mania, he has done it by himself.
Does Seth Rollins have something up his sleeve? He's the visionary. He's the architect.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of factors, like the way that
Could he fix his vision?
There you go. The way that I look at it is, besides Roman winning, which would be different, what else can they do here from a storyline perspective that makes this different than the other stuff besides Roman winning? Because obviously Roman never really has beat him in a big match, so that probably is going to be the main difference. Like John said before he left, Roman finally, another check mark on the finally beat Seth Rollins. Check for Roman. But I'm trying to think of, like, what could be interesting coming out of this, end of the night Sunday. Is there anything like, I'm not talking about just a good match. Is there any interesting angle, anything interesting happening at the end of this match? Or is it just Roman lifting up the belt with the fireworks? Like, are we going to see anything different? That's really, because again, I feel like, at least, and this is only me speaking, so don't come for everybody. It's only me speaking. Even with how I felt about WWE going on for the last year or so, the pay-per-views, for the most part, I'm not talking about the ads and the bullshit and that type of stuff, because that's all bullshit. But the matches themselves are usually pretty good to great. Like, that's not, they're not bad. It's not like we're watching bad wrestling. Some of it is, but it's not like we're watching bad wrestling. This SummerSlam card is gonna be a good card, and that's fine. I like watching good wrestling, but is there gonna be anything on this fucking show that moves me?
Does Oba show up and confront Roman at the end of night?
That would be nice. That would be a good little
He
thing
puts,
if they did
puts
that.
Brock Lesnar in his rearview mirror, and
on Saturday, and then Sunday he does.
His music hits, and he just stands there and stares at Roman and tells him he's got next.
I think would get people moving. That's my thing. It's like the wrestling matters. It always matters, but I've always been a wrestling fan that I need both. There are certain people that are like, it's just about the story. I don't agree. And there are certain people that are like, it's just about the wrestling. I don't agree. Where wrestling is at its best, it's fucking humming like this. It is going like this. And WWE, from a storyline perspective, I haven't left many pay-per-views, I feel, in this calendar year, like with an angle or something crazy happening where I was like, oh shit, like I need, like, I'm ready to go. Like I just haven't felt that in a while, it feels like, Jimmy.
I think Seth winning would be a lot more interesting than Roman winning. I fully support that, and I didn't even think it was a possibility until John said something and predicted that Seth's going to win on the podcast, and I was like, that would actually absolutely rule, because we are so freshly reminded of Roman Reigns' 1,316-day reign, where it's like, oh, he's not going to lose it here to Seth, even though very much so Seth does have his number in the last 4 or 5 years. Seth getting back the title that is Seth Rollins' title. He never truly lost that title. He dropped it because of injury and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it to me, I definitely support the idea and definitely think Seth winning would be more interesting. And of course now Roman too. Like we mentioned, all we get is talking segments and promos. I much rather would be more interested if Roman is pissed off after coming up short, returning to Monday Night Raw, as opposed to, oh, here comes him aura farming and having some geek hand him the title out after he leaves his old limousine or whatever. Like I like to see him pissed off and wanting to get back his title, perhaps on Money in the Bank or something. But yeah, that's just me.
Pluggo, what about you? Do you think that anything big? I mean, the Oba thing did say would be.
That's all I can think of that would make, outside of Seth winning and shocking the world a little bit.
That's fair. Well, Scott mentioned it in the chat. You said Oba, takes care of Brock in night one. We know that he forfeited the King of the Ring world title match, but Scott in the chat says Oba should add himself to Roman and Seth. Now, I don't think that will happen, but what if Oba dismantles Brock at the beginning of night one, and then you have some sort of backstage segment later in the night or early in night two where he goes, hey, I told you I need to take care of Brock Lesnar. I took care of Brock Lesnar. I'm the King of the Ring. I won in the title match. I don't think it will happen, but could something like that happen? Because Oba technically is still owed a title match. He just put it aside to handle business.
That's why I got him. That's why I got him showing up at the end of this thing and just like shutting everybody up that complained about it. You just literally do it the next night. He takes care of one thing and moves right into it. And then you could do Oba and Roman, and you could do that talking point for quite some time. Or if you want to go completely off the wall, maybe Jacob Fatu's kind of sick of being Roman's, bitch, and decides to turn on Roman again. I don't know. But then we'd be running back Roman and Fatu. We already saw that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm intrigued on what we're going to see Sunday night that's going to leave us going, oh, shoot. You know what I mean? Because that's my only two things I can think of.
Yeah. Now, because they changed the calendar around, this is obviously August. Money in the Bank is October now.
Yep.
Right? So there's another pay-per-view or two in between that. Is there one at the end of August and then September? Or is it just...
I saw a graphic earlier of Roman Reigns' dates. And he's doing Money. I saw Money in the Bank was on there, so I was like, maybe that could be a match for him.
So Roman's coming around, and it feels like he's doing the ramp up to like the run through Money in the Bank. Like he's there October through Money in the Bank and all that stuff. So I don't know. Listen, I would love Seth I would view it as an upset. I know Seth has Roman's number. But I would view Seth winning as an upset.
I think Roman Reigns versus Oba is definitely the WrestleMania match. And you do have to milk that, and that's why they're milking it, and that's maybe why Oba gave up the King of the Ring stuff to settle this feud with Lesnar and put him in the dirt. I've been seeing that this is probably not going to be Lesnar's last match, and I really kind of wish it was, for various reasons. But like, I think this would be the perfect way to end a career, Brock Lesnar's career. Minnesota, Hell in a Cell, his first, hopefully loss in Hell in a Cell. Like, what better way to retire? But he's definitely will be brought back for WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia, I'd imagine. But and that makes sense because who can pass up a bag? But I don't know. I think it would be time to put the boots in the ring officially now.
Like, it's pretty funny that was everybody's selling point to Oba passing on the King of the Ring was, he gets to retire Brock in Minnesota. Brock ain't mentioned retirement once.
Nope. No, he didn't.
Outside of that Mania thing where he did it fake, a fake retirement. So maybe he retires after the fact. Who knows? Maybe it's official. But yeah, it wasn't on the line. So who knows?
That makes me more think that might have been like a shoot money motivated thing, perhaps, with Brock. I don't know. Like he's always been a guy that goes by the beat of his own drum, and like clearly, like I don't know. Not that maybe I'm getting worked a bit, right? But like I don't know. Like that seemed to be a weird. Like WrestleMania was kind of the perfect time too. Like that to me was like, oh, this is actually like good time to end this thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Keep as Jalen Rose once said, keep cashing them checks.
Yeah, keep cashing them checks, and that is SummerSlam this weekend. Pluggo, I know you are there covering it. You're going to be doing the junkets both Saturday and Sunday, getting some good interviews for Love Wrestling and all that fun stuff. Should be a really, really great time. I know you're going to crush it. You always do. You're going to knock it out of the park. Hopefully, you'll be able to find some sightseeing shit tomorrow. I know you said there's not much to do, but hopefully you can figure out something to do as he's frantically messing with his phone. Can he not hear me?
Everything's falling apart on my end.
That's okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, this was a makeshift try to do this. I'm going to go see what kind of, I don't want to say trouble because I try to stay out of trouble, but I'm going to go see what kind of stuff I can find in the city. Like I said, luckily tonight it's Central Time for me, so it's only 9 o'clock. So I'm sure there's something around here I can do.
Yeah,
meet up with some friends of the show. There's a few of them out here tonight. So
100%.
Yeah, no. Tomorrow I'll stay tuned to all my content and I'll see what I get. It's like Superstore. There's a WrestleCon. There's indie shows going on this weekend. So obviously I'm here to do the junkets and the SummerSlam coverage, so that'll take precedent. But I'm gonna see what we come up with.
Yeah, and I got to spend last weekend. I was in Montreal. Not a terrible drive from us in Boston, Jimmy. Only like 4.5 hours. So I was lucky enough to get some media access for Redemption, and that was a fun time. I actually got to go see a mystery wrestling show on Saturday night. Evil Uno's company, Orange Cassidy, showed up out of nowhere. The Death Riders showed up out of nowhere, had a match. That was a lot of fun. Old Johnny Nitro, or as he goes by Johnny Mystery, won their World Heavyweight Championship at that show.
Oh, wow.
He was in the main event, and he won the World Championship. So he is the new Mystery World Heavyweight Champion, Johnny Mystery. So that was a good show. And then Sunday afternoon, I got to go see Crush, Orange Crush. They're wrestling. It was an afternoon show. Mance Warner was on that card. That was a lot of fun. Jonathan Gresham was in the main event there. Hazuki was also wrestled on that show, so that was pretty cool to see her live in that environment. Tom Lawler was there, a bunch of cool stuff. And then I obviously got to go to Redemption and the press conference, and I got to ask Speedball Mike Bailey a question, which was pretty cool. So the Beards, tonight was the facial hair summit with the Stache Club and the Beards. The Beards had you covered last week for Redemption. We got you covered this week for SummerSlam. We're slowly taking over the world, guys. That's what we're doing.
We're going to have to do a proper facial hair summit when we're all in our studio locations.
Correct.
So it's not as choppy.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Jimmy, you've been on our show multiple times. You know the drill. You are more than welcome anytime. But yes, we will have to get the gang back together. Of course,
couldn't miss it.
Yeah, and we'll have to get the gang back together, the four of us kind of in our proper studios and setups, kind of having another run at this, because this was a lot of fun. So, Jimmy, let the people know where they can find you, where they can find the Stache Club, and what you guys release, your schedule, all that fun stuff, man.
Jimmy from the Q on all social medias. I am the Blind Rank King. I put out fun little short form videos. Been pretty consistent with those. I'll blind rank anything. Jimmy Drinks. I review drink beverages from time to time. Also on the Instagram and TikTok, so follow me there. Stache Club Wrestling Podcast. We go every week, every Wednesday. And then also on the YouTube channel, we do quizzes and all that fun jazz as well, too. Also a bonus Patreon episode along with that podcast if you're interested in our personal lives for whatever reason. Just celebrated 30 years of life. July 29th, my birthday. I found out I was born the same day as the NWO theme song. So that's
nice. Hell yeah. Happy birthday, brother.
So is that like your theme song now, basically?
I would like to think so. So the same I was born the same day. If you remember the iconic Kevin Nash throwing Rey Mysterio into the side of the
lawn dart, the lawn dart.
I was being popped out of my mama right when that was happening.
Unbelievable. She couldn't contain her excitement. You were like, I gotta get
just fate you were gonna be a wrestling fan.
You were like, I gotta see this shit. I heard it was like a lawn dart. I gotta see it.
She was big on Macho Man and Ms. Elizabeth.
Oh,
man. So
yeah. Macho Man is my Macho Man and Stone Cold Steve Austin are my 1 and 1A. Those are my two guys. Like, if I'm doing my personal Rushmore or top 5 or whatever, that's my 1 and 1A. Stone Cold was like popular when I was like 12, 13. Like, it was right in my wheelhouse. So like, but yeah, all right. We love that. Go follow Jimmy. Follow Stache Club. He's gonna hang around till we get off air here. But follow all the good stuff. They're great. They're also local boys. Boston, Massachusetts. So I see them at shows. We got to meet them, and they've been doing a lot of good work for a long, long time. So go give them a follow. Support those guys. Support Jimmy. Support John. Support them together as the Stache Club. We appreciate you guys taking the time for us tonight. Pluggo, you know the drill, brother.
Do this quick.
Playing a road game tonight. Do the damn thing. Put our plugs out so we can get out of here.
None of this stuff is working for me on these road games, but I'm Pluggo. You can find me on all social media as Pluggo. Obviously, like I just said, covering SummerSlam all weekend and all the festivities around here. So stay tuned to my socials for that. Every Thursday night with this dude at B2 Beards on all social media. So time we got as a show. Not this weekend because I'm here in Minnesota, but next weekend I'll be back with Blair Pacheco, the Grainmaker Wrestling Pod for Full Exposure, where we talk about the independent wrestling world. Dynamite's up with you on Wednesday nights. I'll get back to that too next week now that I'll be, not travel bound. And yeah, that's where you can find me.
Hell yeah, we love to see it. You can follow me, JPJ Loves Gaming, all social media platforms. He told you where you can find me Tuesdays. He told you where you can find me Wednesdays. You can also find me Sunday afternoons, Fightful Overbooked, noon Eastern. Me, Auntie Collins, coast to coast. We'll be reviewing night 1 of SummerSlam, previewing night 2, talking redemption, all the fun stuff this weekend over there at noon Eastern on Sunday. Once again, Jimmy, thank you for hanging out with us the whole show. We appreciate you, brother. And we love you, brother. John, thanks for popping on a couple times. We had a double dip of John earlier tonight, so we thank him. We'll have to do this again real soon. Everyone enjoy SummerSlam weekend. Pluggo, kick some ass, my man. Do the damn thing. Love you, buddy. You all know the drill. Till next week, say hi to Sue.
Hi, Sue.
Peace out.
Hey there, Pluggo and JPJ. It's Trent's mom, Sue. And I have a bone to pick with you. So, I understand that you guys are being real idiots and spending your entire monthly budget. You've got to be kidding me. This is not the way to be when you're trying to run a business. Your boss, Spencer, is really pissed off at you. I'm pissed off at you. You have some nerve. Get a grip. You have to control yourself. You can't just go out and spend all the money that you're making, you two beards guys. Oh no, this is coming out so stupid. Anyway, behave yourselves, or I'm going to cut you off from watching AEW. You're no longer going to get to know, be able to meet my son. What? Or me. I'm sorry, this is like I don't know. Anyway, thanks so much for being fans. Watch your